Hello and welcome to the GTLA Lakers 818 podcast. Today is Sunday, November 5th. We're filming this in Chatsworth, California.
Chatsworth.
After the last podcast, the Lakers were 2-2. Since then, the Lakers have played 5 more games and are now currently 4-5. We played Toronto, we lost. Played Utah, we lost. Then we played Detroit, we won. Played Portland, we lost. Then we beat Brooklyn. What I thought was interesting was that we lost. Our 3 losses were to teams that made the playoffs last year, Toronto, Utah, and Portland. And our 2 victories were against teams that did not make the playoffs in Detroit and Brooklyn. The average margin of loss during those 3 games was 9, and the average margin of victory in the wins was 16. Currently, with our 4-5 record, we're in 12th place, but that doesn't really mean anything because if instead of being 4-5, we were 5-4, we'd actually be tied with 4 other teams that make up the 5th through 8th seeds in the West. So the Lakers are in good position.
Yeah, man, we had 2 heartbreaking losses, man. That Portland one, I almost felt like crying.
Yeah, and at this stage, like I feel good. Like the playoffs are definitely still in sight. I mean, the season's young, but
Really, I mean, compared to last season, like we're actually the 2 losses against Toronto and Portland. They were really close games. We just lost it at the end. And I mean, last season, I would not expect us to be like in there with these good teams, like having close games. Like we were getting blown out. We were losing by double digits constantly, you know. And it's good we're beating the teams that we're supposed to beat. We're beating like those non-playoff teams. I'm happy we're winning those games. Yeah,
definitely. The Lakers, interestingly, I mean, they're getting so much well-rounded scoring. There's only 4 teams in the NBA, including the Lakers, that have 7 players averaging double figures. And the Lakers are so close to being the only team with 8. You know, Lonzo is actually at 9 points per game. If he was at 1 more point, we'd be the only team with 8 players in double figures. So that's cool. And I want to start.
That's well balanced.
Yeah. And I want to start today talking about Lonzo. Definitely struggled offensively to these last 5 games. In these last 5 games, he averaged 6.5 points, 4.5 assists, 4.5 rebounds, which dropped his stats last time we talked from 11-9-9 to 9-7-7. And he's currently shooting 30% from the field, 25% from 3.
That's terrible.
And 50% from the free throw line.
What?
Oh man, I mean, in his defense, like he's a rookie, like he's figuring it out, but yeah, there's so much pressure on him on getting like, you know, the scoring done. I mean, the game against Portland, yeah, he had 0 points, and I think Shaq said it best. He said there's no way on earth you can be a Laker, play 29 minutes, and not score a point. I mean, This guy, he knows what the Lakers. I mean, this is Shaq. Like, he knows the Lakers. He knows the winning tradition, and he knows what you got to bring. He knows what you got to bring if you're wearing the purple and gold. Like, we expect the best, and we expect, you know, nothing less. And you score 0 points. It's almost like, how do you do that when you're in the game for 29 minutes? Like, you're bound to get something. You know?
Yeah, you would think. But he's being impactful in so many other ways. And what's really interesting about the Portland game is even though he scored 0 points, he actually led the Lakers in plus-minus that game. He was a plus 22 without scoring the ball, which is pretty crazy.
That's awesome. You know, I was watching that game, and it was a really close game. I mean, Lakers went down big in the beginning, and then we started chipping away. And the way we started chipping away was it was a team defense effort. And one thing I noticed about Lonzo, I mean, this is in his defense. Like, yeah, he scored 0 points, but let me tell you this: he stood in front of Damian Lillard. His defensive stance and his positioning, and he was just in front of him the whole time. He was making the shots tough on him. He had 2 really nice blocks on him, And he just made it really tough on Lillard. I mean, when I compare it to what I saw last year with, D'Angelo guarding like a Lillard, like we're winning just on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Like forget about the scoring, forget about the offense, put all the stats away, put all that stuff away. If you just look at just defense, like one-on-one, staying in front of your man, Lonzo was, I don't know, he was just amazing. When we needed stops, like we were getting stops. That's how we got back in the game. So amazing job to Lonzo. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, and I want to correct myself on one thing. He was the highest in plus-minus against Portland, but he was a +10. It was actually in the Brooklyn game where he only had 6 points. He was the highest in plus-minus again at +22. And then against Detroit, he was a +8. And in the 2 losses to Toronto and Utah, everyone in the starting lineup was a big negative. So, and it's interesting. It's crazy how he can, he's like, what I feel is he's, within himself, he's playing bad, but the team is not being affected by it. Like, it's just him that's looking bad, Like, that's...
Yeah, individual by himself, but it's not... you're right. It's not affecting, like, the team.
Like, last year with D'Angelo, like, if he played bad...
Yeah, the team just tone for everyone else. If he came out hot, like, the team will come out hot, But it's not... It was just good. Like, it's they're one and the same, but it's not... it's not a snowball effect. It's not a domino effect on everybody else.
Yeah. And I'm really not worried about his long-term prospects. Like, I mean, even if this year it's a whole offensive struggle, like, I still wouldn't be worried. This guy is so good, and I'm so glad he's on our team, like, for sure. Like,
I saw that one, the one pick you showed me, actually. I mean, through the first 7 games, actually his numbers are almost identical. Actually, a little bit better than Jason Kidd's. I mean, everyone forgets that these guys are young. They're like 19. He just turned 20. He just had his birthday.
Yeah.
These guys are rookies, and like they're figuring out the NBA. Like, he's officially with the big boys now. He's just figuring it out, and he's really not doing that bad. I mean, look just based off his numbers, he's really not doing that bad for a rookie. Yeah,
the numbers are fine. The percentages are not good, but the numbers are good. One thing I gotta say as far as playing with the big boys, like, I've seen a lot of footage of him, like doing workouts and stuff, like, at his home, like over the summer, and he's doing like pull-ups and stuff, and like, dude, like, this guy needs to hit the weight room. Like, you don't need to tone, you need to bulk up. Like, I think he's starting to learn that, but like he knows. Yeah, that's gonna take his game to another level. I mean, just like Ingram last, like Ingram would get pushed around, but now in this 1 year, you go adding strength, like, he's much better at driving and
Ingram looks so good.
Yeah, and some other positives on Lonzo. In the last 3 games against Brooklyn, Portland, and Detroit, he had 1 turnover in those 3 games.
Wow.
For a point guard, handling the ball every time now. 1 turnover in 3 games.
Wow. And, that's amazing, actually. I mean, handling the ball that much for a rookie point guard, having 1 turnover, that's awesome.
Now, on the other side of that, I think in, like, the last 4 games, he's only shot 1 free throw.
That's terrible.
Come on, man. Like, that just shows he's not being that aggressive offensively. I mean, you're not going to take it to the rack. You're not going to get free throws.
Yeah, and you could tell he knew in that Brooklyn game on Friday, because he came out in the first 3 minutes and, like, was actually really reckless driving to the basket. But at least he was getting to the basket, and that was good to see. Another thing about Lonzo that I think is really interesting at this point in the season is, and again, this goes back to the fact that, within himself, he's not playing well, but it's not affecting the team that much. Currently, the Lakers are 6th in the NBA in field goal percentage. Last year, with D'Angelo running the team, we were 21st.
Wow.
Everyone's getting good shots. Like, everyone's
gelling. Like, it looks good. Like, the team looks good. I mean, hey, man, when we run and gun, when we're just, like, pushing the ball, getting the board, just go, like, we get easy buckets. Like, I think we lead the league in points in the paint. Is that true? I believe so.
Yeah, we're definitely up there.
I think we're, like, at, like, 56 points per game at points in the paint. I mean, we're getting easy shots. I mean, on the other hand, our three-point shooting is actually really bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what the percentage is on that, but it's definitely not good. But yeah, man, it's just I'm telling you, his passing, we said it the last time, his passing is contagious. The whole team is just playing so unselfish.
Yeah. Next, I want to talk about Ingram. since the last podcast, his numbers are kind of the same. He went up in field goal percentage and steals, and he went down in free throw percentage. He's definitely got to work on those free throws.
I expect whenever he goes to the free throw line, I mean, I'm expecting a miss, which I don't want to, but I mean, that's a sad truth for me. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a make one and a miss one. Like I really, him and Randall, I can never see them making 2 free throws in a row, even though I'd like them to.
Yeah, he's currently the 4th leading scorer on the Lakers at 15 points, 4.5 rebounds, 3 assists. And what I like about Ingram since the last time we talked, because last time we talked about him being a stud or a dud, like, is he going to be consistent? That's my number one question to the season. Is he going to give us double-digit scoring every game? And what's good, in 4 of the past 5 games, he had at least 14 points.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, like, he's got to. Like, he's too good, too long, too skilled to not get 13 at least every game. And really should get 20, but...
When I compare him to, like, even when from preseason and in the first few games, like, he looks a lot more under control right now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was settling for that mid-range jumper. It almost seemed like he was falling in love with it, but now it's like he's taking the ball to the rack. Like, against Portland, he had a good mix of, like, the jumper and taking it to the basket, which is really good. I mean, I think he's finding himself, and he's letting the game come to him. Like, he's not rushing anything, which I think what Lonzo needs to take a page out of his book and just let the game come to him. And don't force anything. Don't rush anything. Give what the defense gives you. Take what the defense gives you.
Yeah, and we were texting during the Brooklyn game, and it's become so apparent that, and this is what I was saying, we talked about last year, like, he needs to realize how long he is. I mean, it's kind of like Giannis. Like, it wasn't until Giannis, it took him like 2 or 3 years really to realize, like, okay, if I go by my man, like, if I have one step on anyone, like, it's a layup or a dunk, like, and you can tell he's starting to notice that, and that's beautiful. I mean, and he's still, I don't even think he's 21 yet. Like, it's so nice, man. Like, I love it.
Dude, I mean, I want to touch on the defensive end with this guy, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dude, this guy, with the length, have you seen him block shots, dude? This guy's coming out of nowhere and just blocking shots. Like, I guess he had, like,
Mr. Stretch.
He had 2 games in a row. I think he had, like, 4 steals each, and then he was, like, picking up blocks left and right, like, help defense, like, not even on his man. He's just coming out of nowhere and just swatting it like a fly swatter. Like, that's what we need. That's, like, the recipe for a championship team. Like, you need that help defense, I'm just so psyched about, like, his growth on the offense and the defensive end.
Yeah, and with his body and everything, like, he can play the 2, 3, or 4, which is, and well, he can't play the 4 right now, but in a couple years he'll be able to.
He's gonna get a little bit stronger.
Yeah, he'll get stronger. But that's awesome. Like, one thing about his game that I think he needs to start doing more, and you touched on it earlier, was shooting threes. Like, he's only shooting 2 threes a game right now, yet he has the highest percentage on the team at 39%. And in college at Duke, if you go and watch his highlight reels on YouTube,
making it rain threes.
Like, it wasn't even a thought to him. He was just catching it and shooting it. And you can tell he's kind of, it looks like he's, like, watched a lot of Kobe highlight reels, because he's, like, loves pulling up for the mid-range jumper, which is, I mean, awesome. You want to have that part of your game, but you shouldn't be, like, 2 threes a game is not enough for him. I was looking, for example, at Jaylen Brown, who was also drafted last year like him, who isn't even a shooter, like, and was, out of college was not considered a shooter like Ingram, and he's averaging 4 attempts a game in threes. So, like, Ingram's got to pop that thing, man. He's got to
shoot it.
Yeah,
he's long. Defense gives him space. I mean, you got to take it. He can shoot over anyone, really. Yeah, he's got to shoot that 3. I mean, these guys like Durant, even Giannis is shooting 3s. Like, all these big men are shooting 3s. Like, he's got to get on that boat.
And with Lonzo, a team, like a Lonzo-led team, will thrive with shooters around him. I mean, you really want 4 shooters around him.
Kind of want that Mike D'Antoni offense.
Yeah. And so the Lakers are, like the Lakers are last in threes made per game currently in the NBA at 7. They make 7 threes a game, which is last, and they're fourth to last in attempts per game at 23, and last in the NBA at 31%.
Yeah, you can't make it if you're not shooting it.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So they need, and yeah, they got like this Laker team. It just feels like a type of team that needs to shoot threes. Like I mean, layups and threes. This team is long, is fast, and he's shooting. Like he just needs more.
I mean, I think that the game against Portland. Hey man, Brook Lopez, this dude, he went. I mean, he was making threes. Who did they play after that? They played.
It was the Brooklyn game. He hit 6 threes.
Brooklyn game, he had 6 threes. Yeah, Brooklyn, he had 6. Dude, he just went off on that game.
Yeah,
Finally.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting, and we're going to talk about Brooklyn a little bit, but he actually, and this is, I think, it's not correct. It's not good. Like he leads the Lakers in 3-pointers made per game and attempts per game. Like yeah, he should be shooting them. But we have Pope, Clarkson, Ingram, Kuzma. Like these guys should be shooting the ball more. I mean, yeah, bottom line, I think.
That guy could not hit water if he fell out of a boat.
Next, I want to talk about JC, Mr. Jordan Clarkson.
JC.
I have some. Last time I did drop some pretty ridiculous numbers on him, and I have some more again. His averages,
consistent.
Yeah, his average has pretty much stayed the same since last time. Well, listen to this, right? Yeah, so right now he's averaging a ridiculous 15 points in 20 minutes. And he's currently the number 11th ranked player in the NBA in scoring per 48 minutes.
What?
Yeah. And he's in front of, and in terms of that category, he's in front of players like Durant, Karl Anthony Towns, Lillard, Kyrie, Blake Griffin, Carmelo, Paul George. Yeah, and he's being super efficient about it. Right now, he's shooting 50% from the field.
That is
on top
crazy.
of that.
That is ridiculous.
Who hates on this guy? I've listened to other podcasts. I've listened to just NBA people in general, and everyone's always trashing on him. Like, what are they trashing on?
Stay in your lane.
This guy is balling. Like, 15 points in 20 minutes, scoring at a better rate than Durant and Lillard and Kyrie, shooting 50% from the field. Like, come on. And to give you some perspective, and this is one of the interesting things, because I think Clarkson. Let me look at these numbers. He's our third leading points per game right now.
Coming off the bench.
Yeah, and so some perspective on how good at scoring he is, and this isn't anything at Brandon Ingram. It's just more about Clarkson. Ingram plays 12 more minutes than him, yet averages less points per game, and it's only slight, but I mean that's incredible. Like
that's amazing. I mean, you need buckets. Put in Clarkson. And I think I was saying earlier, this guy should be getting more minutes. But
yeah, he should be.
I mean, Stu Lance said it best. Like, this guy comes in, he's so efficient, productive offensively. Like, I just think if there is a negative, which I don't want to say there is, but if there is a negative, is sometimes when he comes in, he's running the one, like when he starts dribbling too much. But I think he's just looking for the bucket, and everyone's I think so amazed by his scoring ability and scoring talent. They kind of just get caught standing and watching, kind of like what they used to do with Kobe. And then he ends up dribbling the ball too much, and something will happen. Like, that's the only negative I see. But man, this guy, he's just like he gets in the game, and I'm just like, oh my god, finally, it's about time he's in. Like, he just gets us buckets, and it's amazing. He takes it to the rack. He can go hard. Finish with right, left hand. He lobs alley-oops. He can pass the ball. He has that amazing mid-range jumper, and of course, he can pop a three too.
Yeah. And on top of, I like that
he plays defense too.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
is. No, he's playing defense. Like he's trying. The thing is, I watch him. He gives a lot of effort and tries really hard on defense. Like, and that isn't a knock on him, but this year, like, he's definitely committed on that end. And just some more random stuff. He's second in the NBA in points per game off the bench.
What?
And yeah, with him, with regards to him playing point guard, I'm really glad that he's playing point guard. But I feel like he's kind of was mismanaged through the years of his career so far. Like the mistakes he's making. It's like he almost has to relearn to be a point guard because his rookie year he was playing point guard and made all rookie first team. But then the next 2 seasons, he never, under Luke Walton, he never got a shot to play point guard. Really. Like, he was playing the 2. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, like, I remember last year, like, Ingram was playing a lot of backup 1, and Lou Williams had the ball in his hand a lot.
Yeah.
Like, he would, and so I feel like Clarkson, because, especially playing next to Lou Williams, who was, definitely a good player, but
hindered his ability.
Yeah, and like kind of was he shoots a lot. So I feel like Clarkson, when he would get the ball last year, would attempt to shoot. Like he's like, all right, I gotta get my points too. And so now, yeah, like I do imagine him struggling a bit to like get back to that point guard mentality because he has to be a 2-guard and score the last 2 seasons. But hey, I think he's doing it pretty well, and I'm glad it's happening.
It's great that it's a second unit. Like every team needs a punch off the bench, and him and Randall actually he gives an amazing punch. Like we need scoring, we need someone to break that momentum that the other team has. He gives it to us, and he actually, against the game against Portland, like he was a great part of that charge that brought us back from down. Like I think we were down like 15, 16 points.
Yeah. Next, let's move on to Brook Lopez.
Brolo.
Brolo. From NoHo. Last time we talked, he was the Lakers' 5th leading scorer, and now he's jumped up to currently being our number 1 points per game guy at 16 points per.
He's finding himself.
He jumped up 5% in field goal percentage since the last podcast and went up 2.5% in 3-point percentage.
What?
Yeah, and like I said earlier, he leads the team in 3-point makes and attempts per game. After averaging 9 points in the first 3 games, after averaging 9 points in the first 3 games of the last 5, he averaged 30 points in the last 2 in the Brooklyn and the Portland game.
That would get the job done for sure.
Yeah, and yeah, he's definitely finding himself. I thought it was interesting that he really didn't get a lot of minutes the first 5 games, and he wasn't playing at the end of games, but now it looks like Luke wants to rely on him some more, and I'm sure the Nance injury has something to do with that. But I think it's a good thing. Brook Lopez is an established player.
Bo gets out too.
Oh yeah, Bo gets out too. So yeah, I mean,
the substitution method was a little bit erratic, I thought, early those first couple games. But you know what's funny is against Brooklyn, even though he made it rain from 3, the games against Portland and Brooklyn, like he showed a really, really nice touch around the basket. I mean, when he catches the ball, like I'm talking about 8 to 12 feet, he has a good post move. He's so big. He's got a nice little jump hook. He can turn around. He even has a floater game. Like I'm telling you, he's got this repertoire of shots and a finesse that he can get points in. And it's not just shooting the 3. I think the Lakers are more effective and they look better when he's scoring on the inside. Yeah, we want that 3, which is that's just a bonus from him. But when he's scoring on the inside, it gives us that post presence, which opens it up for everyone else.
Yeah, and it's interesting and funny how he's not a good rebounder and has never been. I don't even know if he's ever had a season where he averaged over 7 rebounds.
That's terrible.
But it doesn't really seem to affect the team because I don't know. A lot of other people are gobbling rebounds, but
yeah, Kuzma, Randall, Ingram, they're getting boards.
But it's just that he's so big and tall, and he's got long arms. I'm just surprised that he doesn't get a lot of rebounds, but he is a good shot blocker.
Great shot blocker.
Yeah, he's had a lot of nice, clean blocks this season.
Yeah, he definitely protects the rim.
Yeah, that's great. And it's something we've been missing. I don't know if Mozgov had a single block last year. I don't remember that happening ever.
Him or Roy Hibbert. I can't remember if they ever got blocks, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, when was the last time the Lakers, we had a legit center? Before Roy Hibbert, who was our... Oh, we had Dwight. Oh, we had
Dwight Coward?
Oh, yeah.
No. Who?
Yeah.
I shouldn't even mention his name.
Yeah. Yeah, so... but one thing funny happened, and we were texting during the... Brooklyn game on Friday was during his 3-point barrages. He was. Hey,
I know y'all saw that.
Yeah,
I know y'all saw that if you were watching Spectrum.
Yeah, if you're watching Spectrum, he kept doing he was doing the smoke the J after every swish. It was so funny.
Stay off the weed.
Dude, this guy, he did it at least 3 different times. He'd make a 3, splash. Run back down. He's staring at, I don't know who was he looking at the Nets bench.
Someone on the Nets bench.
He was looking at someone at the Nets bench, and it's he had literally a joint or something in his hand. He's puffing it, and he was he had a smirk on his face too. And then it looked like he would take 2 puffs, and then he was throwing it away, he was actually holding a physical thing in his hand. It was the funniest thing on earth.
Yeah, we gotta get that up on our Instagram.
Yeah, it's gonna be up on the Instagram page soon. Just check it.
Yeah, and he is from North Hollywood, so I mean, He's
Bro,
San
you from
Fernando
the Valley?
like,
Come on, man. You already know what's up.
Stay off the weed.
Next, I want to talk about Larry Nance.
Junior.
This is a guy who I don't even care what the stats are. This guy's just an awesome player. Like, I don't even care what the stats are.
Every phase, every aspect of the game, this guy is he just gets the job done.
He leads the Lakers in rebounding at 7.5 per game. And unfortunately, he broke his he fractured his second metacarpal, which is the bone in his palm that connects to his index finger. This was in the Portland game. He went up to block a shot, and he's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, which sucks.
Oh my God, that's so bad, man. I feel so bad right now. Like, this guy, he brings us so much intensity on the defensive end in that first unit since he started starting, and like we're just. I just really can't wait till he comes back. Hopefully we can hold it down without him.
Yeah, he's the Mr. Intangibles of the power forward, center position. Like, the hustle guy. Like, he just so many things that the box score won't show.
We were missing him in the Portland game, man. What's his name? Nurkic?
Yeah.
Nurkic? Dude, this guy, he looked amazing, and Randall was a little small for him. Brook Lopez didn't come in. He needed to rest, and for that little bit of time, I wish we had Nance. Like, he would definitely have given us the help on the defensive end and slowed him down a bit. I think that was a game changer for us, like the defense on Nurkic.
Yeah. And the one maybe positive from this, and I want to know your thoughts on this, is this allows Kuzma and Ingram to get some minutes together, and they're definitely the future of this team, and I hope and I envision them being in our starting lineup for hopefully a long time. So what do you think of Kuzma and Ingram getting some run together now?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. I mean, as great as Nance is, I think in this day and age you got to have the most ultimate. Does that make sense? The most ultimate. You got to have an amazing, potent offensive team, and I think Kuzma has shown. Kuzma looked like the best. Let me tell you, he looked like the best player on the court on both teams in that Portland game. If Kuzma and Ingram can just gel, and if they can get that chemistry together, like, hey, they were diming each other. They look good, passing the ball to each other. If they can feed off of each other, like, Lonzo bring the ball up, and you got two dangerous guys on both the wings. It keeps the defense guessing. That's just the recipe for a win.
Yeah, and thank God that Kuzma took his place in starting lineup and not Randall. Like, I would not have. That was a smart move.
Seriously.
Like, yeah, I would not have been down with that. Let's go ahead and talk about Kuzma now. He's currently the second leading scorer on the Lakers at 16 a game, shooting 56% from the field, which is just absolutely ridiculous.
What?
Because he's shooting a lot of jumpers. Like, he shoots threes, he shoots a lot of floaters, and he's shooting 56% from the field. I mean, it's like how Clarkson's shooting 50% from the field. He's shooting 56%, it's just awesome. And again, let me just jump back to Lonzo real quick. This is what I'm saying. Like, Lonzo playing bad within himself, it's not affecting other people, like, which is beautiful. Like, but let's stick to Kuzma. I want to say there's two things that I really love about Kuzma. The first, I got to say, is his interviews. This guy is a really smart, intellectual dude. You can tell when he talks. Like, he understands the questions. He answers them well.
He's confident.
Yeah, he's really confident. He talks, and he gives good answers. Like, I really enjoy listening to his interviews. Like, I probably like his interviews the most of anyone on the Lakers. Like, let me think. Yeah, like, at the moment, yeah, I really like his interviews. The second thing I like about him a lot is that he plays within himself. Like, I've noticed that, like, in college, he played the 4 and was more like an inside guy and stuff, and you can tell he's still opening up his game. And what I mean is, when he gets the defensive rebounds, he actually doesn't really push a lot himself. Like, he kind of always is looking for Lonzo or Clarkson, which I think I like that, because that means he's just trusting what he knows. Like, I mean, he's not forcing things. Like, he's okay just playing within himself, and I really like that about him. I mean, yes, eventually, like, we want him to be able to get the rebound and go, and he can do it. Like, it's not like he can, but it's just mentally that's just not what he's kind of conditioned to doing. But I like that he just plays within himself.
Yeah, man, he just seems like almost like the perfect player.
Yeah,
which is weird. Like, for a rookie. Like, he just comes in, and he's got the length, he's got the size, he runs like a guard, he can shoot like a guard, he can dribble like a guard, he can rebound like a center. He plays defense, and he can block shots. Like, he gets steals, and he's unselfish. He's an unselfish passer. Like, he finds people for dimes, and he plays with them. He doesn't do anything out of control. OC, like Stu Lance's favorite guy's OC. Like, I've never seen him out of control, and he just looks so smooth on the court.
Yeah, he's got a really nice pump fake, really nice spin move, really nice floater, and he's just smooth. Like, it's just something about the way he moves. It's like he's so agile. Like, he gets from point, like, even I'm not saying long distance, but I mean even long distances. But I'm saying like a short distance, like he's able to like just like it's like almost like he just like flows there, like he's a mutant or something. Like, it's not like like it looks.
He can shorten his stride, and he can like lengthen his stride too, and I think that's an advantage for him. Like, he's tall. I mean, man, I don't know. It's like I'm trying to compare him to like a player. Like, if I can compare him to like a past player, like I don't know who it would be. Like, it's just he seems like a longer guard. Like, if I had to pick an amazing like 2 guard, like a shooting guard, but just a longer version. Like, I don't know. Like,
What do you think?
I don't know. Like, if I had to
Not
put
quite
like,
sure how to answer that.
that's right, Kobe. I'm not quite sure how to answer that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I don't know. We got to get back to that. It's a good question. But anyway, so yeah, he started in the Brooklyn game for Nance, and he had 21 points and 13 rebounds on 73% shooting.
Cool.
Which is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, it's just absolutely ridiculous. There are only 3 rookies in the NBA season so far that have had 20-10 games, and 2 of them are on your Lakers.
Oh yeah, let's get it.
Lonzo, Kuzma, and Ben Simmons. Which is awesome.
We got 2 out of those 3.
Yeah. Why don't we go ahead? There was something else I wanted to say about Kuzma, but can't remember at the moment. Oh yeah, I just remembered. I swear, if it wasn't for Ben Simmons being eligible for Rookie of the Year this year, I'm pretty sure Kuzma would win it.
Oh, he get for sure.
Yeah. Love it. Let's go ahead and move on to Julius Randle. And I gotta say, like, I think Julius Randle is really thriving in his bench role as the backup 4 or 5. He had the highest plus minus and was the leading scorer with 18 against Toronto. Then he had 17 and 7 against Detroit. And what I'm seeing is that he's just able to bully and beat up on these backup 4s and 5s. Like, I mean, the way he plays, it's if he goes up against the starting 4s like a Blake Griffin or Karl Anthony Towns or Anthony Davis or Cousins or any of these guys, like, he's not going to win those battles, but he'll win the battles against, I don't know, most 25 out of 30 NBA teams
Second
backup
units.
4s and 5s, which is something Nance wouldn't do because he doesn't really look to shoot. Like, he won't take advantage of playing against second units, but Julius Randle is. And let me tell you how. He's actually, interesting stat, averaging the most points per game for anyone playing less than 20 minutes per game currently in the NBA.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. What are you seeing from Randle?
You know, one thing I've noticed is, and you know, I mean, if this is fine for his game, if he's happy with it, I think I'm not looking forward. You know, I was hoping that jump shot would come along, that he'd be able to knock down that 3 and the mid range. But man, the bully ball is just working for him. Like, he's just taking it in. He knows how to finish around the basket. He takes it in strong. He can finish with the left and the right hand now. He's just got to knock down those free throws though. But he's getting, all of his points are coming in the paint. From what I know, like, he's getting a lot of dunks. He's getting a lot of layups, which is what I like. And he just puts his head down. And he just goes. You know, one thing we were used to seeing him for the last 2 years, I think he was really passive. You know, he would look for the pass a lot. Now he just looks like I got to get this bucket, and there's no one that's going to stop me.
Yeah, I think part of that maybe has to do with him feeling like he has less minutes and he's in a contract year.
True.
And so he wants he doesn't want the points per game to dip. But yeah, last year he had a few triple doubles and he had a lot of games like having over 5+ assists. But yeah, he's not really playing like that anymore. But I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know. I think it's just having
if
to
we're
get to the
winning,
bench.
I think if we're winning, that's all that matters. But I hope Randall's on the same page where I hope that the team success comes before his individual success. I mean, I think if he can understand that concept, I think that's again another small piece of a recipe for making a championship team.
Yeah, and again, even with the pass, I'll just go back to the passing. Like, I mean, last year with D'Angelo's like a scoring guard. Like, so the team didn't really, like, maybe Randall felt the need to, be the guy moving the ball. But yeah, with Lonzo now, like, I mean, he can just score. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Just let him score.
Yeah. And yeah, speaking of the shooting, I think at the when we did the first podcast, he was 1 for 2 from the 3-point line after 4 games, and in the last 5 games he's 0 for 2. So he's not really shooting them, which is something like I just want to see. Like, I don't care, yeah, you missed them, but like you're never gonna get comfortable with it if you don't attempt them. Same with Nance. Like, I mean, these guys gotta shoot them. Like,
I'm not sure if he wants to get comfortable with it.
But it's like in the NBA today, like
you got to.
Like, I mean, but this is my thing. It's like we heard all summer about you guys practicing these threes.
We've seen the videos.
So why practice it if you're not going to shoot them during the season? Like, you might as well have not practiced it and worked on some other parts of your game. Like, that's my only point or like issue with it. It's like, if you put in that much work an hour, you were making sure you made this many threes per game in the summer. I mean, threes in practice during the summer. Like, shoot it. Like, you're never going to know if you're good, and you're never going to get comfortable with it if you don't do it in the game. Like, I mean, we play basketball. It's different playing in like game versus when you're just shooting around. I mean, it's,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, like you can't compare. It's really hard to reenact to feel like you're in a game when you're in practice. I mean, it's just not.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
So Randall, start hitting that 3, bro.
Yeah, I mean, just at least shoot it. Like, and then this is what I think. Like, just shoot them, and then if you end up like you're just bricking, then you'll know. Like, now I'm not gonna shoot them
if you're not shooting.
Yeah, we've played 9 games. You're 1 for 4. Like, you don't know. Like, we don't know. I mean, I have my opinions. Like, I don't think he'll hit it, but
yeah.
I mean, just for his career. I mean, even down the line, like, you want to start getting comfortable with it now. I mean, now you're in your 4th year, like, so
man, if you're open, if the defense is giving it to you, you got to be able to shoot.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to see him dribble, pull up, or like do step backs or nothing. But no, it's just like if you're in a catch and shoot situation, those situations,
easy
like
ones.
Nance, Randall, they need to be able to. If it's a catch and shoot situation, shoot the 3. That's what I think. Let's go ahead and move on to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope,
KCP.
Yeah, he's just like does his role. Like, I don't know. He plays a lot of minutes. Like, Luke Walton definitely likes him, and I like him. Yeah, I like him too. Because he's playing defense. He's definitely playing defense.
Yeah, he's defense solid. He's really solid. I mean, he was picking up on McCollum, Lillard, D'Angelo, Wall, even DeRozan. Like, he was getting in their jerseys. Like, obviously he doesn't stop him, but he definitely slows him down for sure.
Yeah, it's like it's night and day, the feeling of him being there than last year with Nick Young as our starting 2 guard. Like, I mean,
oh yeah,
it's like he's definitely impacting the game, like with what he's doing, like his intangibles, and he has a lot of, in the transition he's had a lot of nice plays. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Like, he's crossed up some people, like dying some people.
He's got a nice little handle. He's got speed. He's really quick. He can definitely shoot the 3 too. I like that. And he can take it to the rack. He can finish. And he passes the ball too. He's a willing passer, and I think that's, going back to the Lonzo thing, like how you said before. Like, I think his passing is making the whole. It's contagious for the whole team, and I see that in KCP.
Yeah, he's currently averaging 11 points and 4.5 rebounds, which is good.
He had a nice the game-tying 3 against Portland. Too bad we couldn't get that last stop at the end, but no, it was a good pull-up, and we need someone who's confident and able to take that last shot and knock it down. I mean, he showed it that in crunch time he's willing and he's able to make that shot. So I'm happy Lakers have it doesn't have to be a superstar, but you just got to have one guy who's, ready to take that.
Let's go ahead and talk about some of the games individually. On Friday, we played Brooklyn, which I am calling the number 2 draft pick bowl, since D'Angelo was a number 2 pick, Ingram was a number 2 pick, Lonzo was a number 2 pick, and this was the supposed D'Angelo revenge game. Oh, D'Angelo is going to come in and drop 40 on the Lakers. D'Angelo is going to stab a knife through the heart of Laker fans. Show Laker fans, you shouldn't have traded me. Lonzo who? D'Angelo, he had an okay game. He had 17, 7 and 7, shot 8 for 24.
That's terrible.
Yeah. And I really, we talked about this. I didn't want him to come in and torch the Lakers. Like, I really didn't. Like, we like D'Angelo. I wasn't like in love with him, and so I was okay with the trade, which is a topic for another day. I still think we need to do a podcast on that because I have some questions about that trade. But yeah, like this is the one thing about that game that I thought was funny was I was hoping it was gonna kind of be like Alonzo, D'Angelo, like maybe some back and forth and stuff. But what I saw was there were so many screens set on them. Like D'Angelo and Lonzo never went at each other. There was every time one of them had the ball at the top of the key, there was a screen. Like it was never any Lonzo D'Angelo like tension or like going at each other, which sucked. I really wanted to see that. What did you see out there?
Yeah, no, I didn't see like that anticipated, like that individual one-on-one matchup. I didn't see any one-on-one between them two.
So many screens.
Yeah, a lot of screens, and he still can't get around the screens. D'Angelo, that is.
Yeah.
And his defense was pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
So I'm kind of glad, like, hey, he had a bad shooting night. I mean,
he underwhelmed. Like, there was nothing special that happened.
Yeah,
like,
there was nothing special.
Ingram swatted his dunk attempt.
Oh,
that was
thank God.
Thank God.
Seriously, I did not want that to go down. And then he's going to have, like, something to brag about. But, Ingram showed him, like, hey, this is my house, this is my team now. So, I like that. And, D'Angelo, it's, if he's happy in Brooklyn, that's totally good. But, Laker fans got to get over this whole, like, oh, we should have kept D'Angelo thing. Like, it's done. It's gone. He's not coming back. And, we're better without him.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, because we talked a lot last year, and I didn't like D'Angelo on the Lakers, really. I mean, he's definitely a skilled player, but it's funny, now I actually like him. Like, I mean, not that in a sense that, like, oh, I wish we had him back. I just mean, like, I like him, like, kind of as a player and a person. I hear his interviews. He sounds actually quite mature, and his game's definitely matured. Like, I'm happy. I'm excited for his career, and I wish him the best. Like, I really do. But,
everyone's not meant for the purple and gold. Some people are Jordan was better with the Bulls. Like not everyone is supposed to be wearing the the Laker colors. And if I think he's gonna have a good career in Brooklyn. I really do.
Yeah, I mean he's a scoring guard. Like he's averaging I think 21 a game right now. So it's nice that he didn't even hit his average. Yeah, I just didn't want it to be something happen on the next day. Oh, all these Instagram memes like, oh, the Lakers screwed up. Like that didn't happen. I'm so happy. Like it feels like that was just we needed that. Like it's kind of like close the chapter on it. I felt like after the game, there's nothing. No one said anything about D'Angelo at the game. It was just like, all right, yep, all right,
one and done.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the Portland game. And this game is really about the end. But yeah, actually the Lakers, I think at the end of the first quarter, they were down 18. And then by halftime, they cut it to 4. And then the rest of the game was really close. Unfortunately,
it ended the lead.
Unfortunately, it ended with a Lillard game winner. I know you were big on this game and everything that happened. I didn't see all of it. So yeah, go ahead and go in on this game.
Man, I was sitting at the edge of my seat. But anyways, like first quarter, Lakers go down big. And I was just like, oh God, we're digging ourselves out of a hole. But I felt kind of good because hey, it's early in the game. There's still a lot of time left. It's the NBA. We'll definitely make our run. We'll make our push. Other teams always let down. Actually, Lakers look really good. And I know Lonzo. He looked overly passive that game. Like he really, I felt like he
didn't score.
He didn't score, but I felt like there were opportunities where he could have. He could have like shot the ball or he could have driven the ball. I just think he seemed extra shy about trying to be aggressive to the basket. But anyways, we had an amazing comeback. That second and third quarter, even the beginning part of the fourth. I mean, we amazing defense. Team defense was on another level, and I talked about it earlier, but Lonzo's defense on Lillard was just something else. I mean, he had 2 really nice clean blocks on him, and he had an amazing defensive stance. He was just in front of him the whole time. And other than Lillard, McCollum, and Nurkic, I mean, Lakers pretty much shut down their whole team.
Yeah.
I don't really remember anyone else scoring.
Yeah.
But I was on the edge of my seat, and we had a couple really silly mistakes towards the end of the game. A couple bad turnovers. I remember like Corey Brewer fell down one time. Randall threw the ball away. I think KCP, he took like a bad shot, like a rush, like a rush 3-pointer, and it wasn't needed. And I think that just goes because we're a young team. You know, we're gonna learn. We got to learn from our mistakes, and you know, this is something we can definitely learn from. But we had the game in our hands. We had the lead. We just need to close it out.
Yeah, I mean, so let's talk about the Lillard's game-winning shot. Like, Ingram after the game said that it wasn't a good defense. It wasn't a good closeout. I agree. We talked about it. I mean, you got to know the clock. I mean, whether you see it on the other side or count it in your head. Like, I think Lillard caught the ball on the inbounds like 13 seconds left. Okay, Ingram, you got to count it down. In your head, just know. And if once you hit 5 seconds, then you got to start thinking, all right, what's going on? And then if it hits 3 seconds and nothing's happening and he's all the way 5 feet behind the 3-point line,
he's not driving.
You got to go up. You got to go up in his grill.
Yeah, you got to body him up.
Yeah, and he didn't, and Lillard stepped back, pop.
He probably practices that shot every day.
And Lillard, we love Lillard. I love Lillard. Like,
yeah, he's amazing. He's an amazing player.
Yeah, big Lillard fan. And
dude, he's gotten snubbed out of how many All-Star games? Like,
yeah, being in the
crazy.
West. Yeah. All right, let's go on to the Detroit game. Now, this game was funny in that the first Pistons free throw occurred at the 6-minute, 25-second mark in the fourth quarter.
Oh, what are you talking about, man?
And 6:25 left in the fourth quarter was the Pistons' first free throw. How is that possible?
Not quite sure how to answer that.
I'm not either. Like,
that's just, I want to say it's amazing Laker D, and some of it was, but I think these refs, man, I'm sorry, but these refs are on something else. Like, I'm not.
Stay off the weed.
Seriously, like, these guys, I mean, not just for the Lakers or for the other team, like, they're making ridiculous calls, ridiculous no calls. You know, these crazy double dribble calls. Like, I think on Josh Hart that game, like, supposedly he was taking the ball up the corner. They called it double dribble. Like, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, and then the Pistons, they shot only 2 more free throws, which occurred with 33 seconds left in the game.
What are you talking about, man?
Yeah, so they shot a total of 3 free throws, and this was weird. I noted this. The game finished live at 9:34 p.m.
That's the earliest I've ever heard of. Like, games usually end around like 10:15 or so.
What?
Yeah, like they're always like 10, 9:55. I've never. When has a Laker game ever ended at 9:34? Like that. I mean, it was nice. I guess it was quick, but yeah, like the Pistons shot no free throws. We won by 20, so screw them.
I mean, Reggie Jackson could just run into the lane, just do a flop, and snap his head back, and the ref would make a call, but it didn't happen.
I mean, Andre Drummond's the type of player that gets fouled like a lot, just in himself.
Inside,
like it was so weird, but whatever. I don't really care. Like, we won, so screw
it. It was
him.
a nice solid win. How much did we win by?
20.
20, nice.
Yeah, that was the game everyone played well. Like, we looked so good that game. Next, let's go on to the Utah game. This game was so boring. Like, this game, we looked so bad. Like, at no point during the game did it look like we were going to win or make a comeback. Only 2 Lakers were in double figures. Ingram with 16 and Clarkson with 15. I don't have that much to say about this game. We just
I didn't see much of it. I just saw like the highlights. But this is like the second time we played Utah since like preseason.
Yeah, we saw them. We went to the game.
We went to the game against preseason. We they got that rookie. I forgot his name, Anderson, but I think that's his name.
Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, Donovan Mitchell. There you go. Donovan Mitchell. Anderson. Where did I get Anderson from? But Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, no, he was good.
Oh, what are you talking about, man?
Sorry about that. But we're struggling against Utah. We're struggling against these teams that are not, I think it's just a matchup thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Utah's a tough place to play too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Like, it felt, everything about it just seemed, even the color of the floor and the crowd, it really looked like the Lakers were just flustered. But yeah, let's just move on. That game was just ugly. The Lakers played the Raptors. You were there.
Man,
how was that?
Oh man, I had some really good seats. I'm gonna put that up on the page so you guys got to check it. But no, the atmosphere is really good. We start off really well.
Yeah, I think we were up 7 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, up 7. It was a good game throughout, and I just felt like, and even some of our other losses, I just feel like the moment we start slowing the ball down and we play like I think when we get caught, I think what Toronto wanted to do was play that, walk the ball up the court. Let's play that isolation ball with DeRozan, and there's just when Lakers stop moving the ball and they stop running and they stop pushing, I think that's when we run into trouble, and I think that's what happened at the end of the Toronto game.
Yeah, in this game, Kuzma, Randall, and Hart were playing really well. Like, all three of those guys played really well. Especially, I remember towards the end of the third quarter, and then they stayed in the fourth quarter, and the game was close. And I thought Luke Walton should have kept them going, like, just because they were like it just felt like they had the energy going, and then they got subbed out, and then we just went down. Like, Luke Walton put the starters back in, but they're on like 6.
They slowed it down. I don't get why they slowed it down.
Yeah, and then we went down 8 or 9, and then Luke realized his mistake and then subbed the bench players back in with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left, and the game was just already lost by then. It was a coaching mistake.
Yeah, it was frustrating.
Yeah, and just to tell you how bad the starters were that game, every starter was at least a -14 in the plus minus. And I'm gonna quickly explain plus minus just in case any people don't know what that is. Plus minus is a measurement of how well an individual player does while he's on the court. So, for example, let's say Lonzo, he starts the game, and during that stretch that he's in before he gets subbed out, the Lakers are up 8. So now at that point, he's a +8, and he gets subbed out, okay? And then let's say when he gets put back in the second quarter, now you just take that next stretch that he's in before he gets subbed out. For that period of time, let's say the Lakers lose that period by 4, during those 8 minutes Lonzo would be in. Now when Lonzo gets subbed out, he's a +4 because he was a +8 and then -4, so now he's a +4. So yeah, it's not a perfect measurement, but it kind of measures how well is the team doing while you're on the floor. Are they not that who's winning at the time, but just how the team's doing. I hope that kind of explains it. So that's it for the games. Now I want to talk about something else that happened kind of off the court. There's a lot of Lonzo LeBron love going on. Some LeBronzo love going on.
What's up with that?
Yeah, I have some serious questions about this. So on October 27th, LeBron tweeted, "Happy G-Day, Young
what
King."
What are you talking about, man?
It was Lonzo's birthday. He tweeted, "Happy G-Day, Young King," and
damn,
found out. And who else is LeBron tweeting happy birthdays to? Like, I don't really think that's happened much. So okay, that was.
Okay, and he just called him Young King.
Yeah, Young King.
So LeBron just basically, he's almost like handing his own throne to somebody else.
Yeah, right?
It's kind of weird.
That's true. That's
LeBron knows he's the king. He's just like, okay, now you're the young king.
Yeah. And then, as an aside, Lonzo had his birthday at Dave & Buster's, which I think is awesome because Dave & Buster's is a really cool place. And then after the loss to Utah, Lonzo took the blame. He said, put the blame on me for this one. And he said he learned to do that from his dad and LeBron. Okay, yeah, that's cool. So some love back to LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, all great leaders, they'll always, for any team, they'll take the fault, they'll take the blame, and whether it is their fault or not, they'll always take it upon themselves. Like, hey, we lost this because of, I could have done this, I could have done that. And I think that's a sign of a great leader. Yeah,
and then 3 days late after the birthday tweet to Lonzo, LeBron tweeted, "Love the team!" Okay, let me start over. he posted a picture of Lonzo and Kuzma. They did some exclusive interview. He tweeted that picture saying, "Love the team, !! Let's continue to break the mode." Now, I don't know where he learned that phrase from, because it's break the mold, but he said break the mode. I don't know what he meant by that, break the mode. I don't know.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
But yeah, so 2 tweets showing love to Lonzo in a 3-day span. I mean, it's exciting, but at the same time, like, I don't know, is LeBron, I hope he's not trolling, because like, why, like, okay, why? It's like you're saying it so, you're being so outward with it, like all this love towards him, like, and no one, it's not like he does this for other players, right?
Yeah, he
it's
doesn't.
Like, so is he knows he's being obvious. Like, LeBron's a really smart guy, and he's very savvy. He's not, he thinks he's
He
not
knows
just
the whole world is watching, too.
Yeah, he knows the whole world's watching. He's always one step ahead. He's such a good businessman. Like, he's going to be a billionaire very soon. Well, he already has $1 billion contract with Nike, so.
But you know what's the funny thing, though? And I heard Stephen A. Smith talk about this, and I kind of thought about it myself, was, you know, I've listened to we've all listened to numerous LeBron interviews throughout the years. I've never really heard LeBron say explicitly, word for word, like, hey, this is my fault. I take the blame. This is all my fault. We lost because of me. You know, I could have done this, that. Like, he'll say, like, it was his fault in an indirect manner. Like, he won't really put himself out there that they lost or he takes the blame. So I'm kind of bewildered. I'm kind of wondering, where did Lonzo hear that, you know, LeBron takes the blame for the interviews? I mean, for the loss, for the game. You know, that's just the kind of weird / interesting / I don't know what thing to me, but it is just that part doesn't make sense to me. What do you think about that? I mean, do you remember LeBron ever saying anything like that before?
Not quite sure how to answer that.
No, I don't. I mean, his biggest loss I remember is the Dallas series when he lost to Dirk Nowitzki, which was embarrassing. I don't remember him saying anything then. So if he didn't say it then I don't know when he did. But I mean, I don't really care whether it's true or not. It's just Lonzo just showing love to LeBron. He says he's his favorite player. Like, and with the Cavs floundering right now, maybe LeBron, he's trying to find brighter pastures in the future. Like, I mean, I hope there's something brewing. Like, I do. Like, I would love for LeBron to come.
I'm sure there's more than something brewing.
But it's just, at this point, if you saying all this and then you don't come, it's like he's definitely, I don't know, I feel like he's then slapping the face of us or something. Like, it's like he's.
That's true, but think about it. I mean, you think Kyrie left for a reason? Maybe this was the reason.
Yeah, maybe.
You think LeBron's putting out those tweets? I mean, there's got to be a reason. And you think, you know, you might know that Paul George is coming, just like how you said the last episode. I mean, KCP's got that connection.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm down for LeBronzo all day, any day. LeBronzo 2018. Let's make it happen. All right, well, we're about to wrap up this podcast, but I want to give a quick shout out to David Nwaba, actually. Because he's over on the Chicago Bulls, and he's playing well enough where the coach actually started him the last 2 games, and over those 2 games, well, the last 3 games actually, he was averaging 10 and 8 in those 2 games, and then sadly on either Friday or Saturday, he actually sprained his ankle pretty bad, and it looks like he might be out a little bit. But hey, David Nwaba was cool. I'm glad he's doing well.
Man. He came in for us towards the end of the season. He gave us that energy we needed.
Yeah. So, hey, just shout out to David Nwaba. You're cool. All right, let's wrap this up and let's look ahead to the Lakers' upcoming schedule. We play the Grizzlies tonight, which is Sunday, November 5th. And then we go on a 4-game road trip. We play the Celtics on Wednesday. God, we got to win that game. Screw the Celtics. Then we play the Wizards on Thursday. Then we play Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo on Saturday.
Oh God.
Yeah. And then we play the Suns on Monday. So 4-game road trip. What are you predicting over these next 5 games? Grizzlies, Celtics, Wizards, Milwaukee, Phoenix.
Grizzlies solid team. Scrappy on defense. It's gonna be a good test. Mike Conley and Lonzo Ball, definitely got to look for that. And obviously, Marc Gasol, you can't sleep on him. I think Brook Lopez, and he's been hot for the last 2 games. I think he's going to put up a nice fight against them. But I see Lakers at home. I see Lakers getting the W. Kyrie is, man,
bad boy.
He's ready to put in work against Lonzo. But the funny thing is that, the Celtics are winning, and it's not even like he's putting up big numbers. I mean, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Jason Tatum, these guys are all playing well. The whole team is just really jealous. So that's going to be a really
7-game win streak right now, I think.
Yeah, I think do they have the best record? I think so. But yeah, that's going to be tough. I would like to see the Lakers win, but I think we're going to be getting a loss. It's going to be a tough game on the road. But I'm rooting for the Lakers all day. You already know that.
Oh yeah.
Who else we got?
Wizards the next day, back to back.
Hey, Wizards. Hey, they're going to remember what happened last time. I think John Wall's. Bradley Beal's going to show up to play, but I think John Wall's going to remember the Stephen A. Smith going off on him, and the whole NBA world just like Lonzo Ball showed you up. So I think they're going to be ready. They're going to be ready to get that W. So Lakers got to be ready to fight. It's going to be a tough one. I don't know. I would like to see a W, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Milwaukee then Saturday.
Milwaukee. Hey, I just think if we can slow down Giannis, but I don't know.
Ingram.
We got Ingram and Giannis. That's going to be a great matchup. This is going to be the test.
Yeah.
This is going to be a test. This is where we can really measure up, star power-wise. Ingram, you want to show who you are. You want to prove yourself. Ingram, you got to show up. And Kuzma, hey, double it. Just Ingram and Kuzma, you guys just got to lock him down. Like, if you guys got to double him and show him up, you guys both have length. Just lock him up. I think we'll be fine if we can just slow Giannis down. He's going to be a load to handle for sure. And last but not least, we got the Suns. The only game where Lonzo had an amazing offensive performance.
Yeah.
Last time he had 29, so hopefully we can see another performance like that from Lonzo. But I want to see a W. The Suns aren't that strong of a team. I mean, since they fired their coach, they've won a couple games, but Lakers got to get that W. So hopefully we could. I would like to see us split. Hopefully go 2-2. But if we go 3-2, I'm a happy man.
Yeah, no doubt.
3-1.
Yeah, no, we're 4-5 right now. Hopefully next time we talk, we're 500 or better. Well, that wraps it up for this week's episode. Thank you for listening, Laker Nation. Please follow us on social media at GTLA Lakers 818_podcast for exclusive content, pics, and videos. And please follow, subscribe, like us, rate us on iTunes or whatever outlet you listen to us on. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. Shout out to the artist that made this beat. The artist's name is Fleslit, and the song title is Scandalized. The path to 17 continues.